You're welcome to Business AS Level Past Paper, May 2020. Question 1A, define the term market share. Market share simply means market share equals to total brand sale divided by total market sale multiplied by 100. That is market share. Go on to question B. A retailer decreases the price of a Samsung television from $800 to $780. Sales of that television increases from 9,000 to 940. So there's an increase in price as a result of a fall, and there's an increase in quantity demanded as a result of a change or as a result of a fall in price. So that's simply the law of demand. The higher the price, the lower the quantity demanded. The lower the price, the higher the quantity demanded. There's always going to be an inverse relationship between price and the quantity demanded, which has already occurred here. So a fall in price from 800 to 780 increases the quantity demanded from 9,000 to 940, 9,450. So we are told to calculate the price elasticity of demand. And when we talk about PED, it simply is the responsiveness between the quantity demanded of a product as a result of a change in price. So the formula for price elasticity of demand is PED equals to Q2 minus Q1 over Q1 divided by P2 minus P1 over P1. So here we have our P1, that's the original price, 800. Then our P2, which is change in price, 780. Then we have our Q1, which is original quantity, to be 9,000. And our Q2, which is the change in quantity, to be 9450. So based on our formula, we say PED equals to Q2 minus Q1. 9450 minus 9,000 over Q1 over 9,000 divided by P2, 780 minus 800. That's P2 minus P1 over P1, 800. So here we have 450 over 9,000. Multiply, that's reciprocal, 800 over minus 20. 0 has taken away 0. This 0 takes away this 0. This one takes away this. So we have 45 here 1, 45 here 2. So we have 8 over minus 4. So that is minus 2, which is elastic. So the PED is elastic. It's price elastic. That's question 1B. We go to question 1C. Analyze two methods that Samsung might have used to build its brand. When we talk about brand, a brand is a unique name of a product. So if Samsung has built a brand based on the case study, so building a brand might involve advertisement, using advertisement to build a brand, or probably using product differentiation to build a brand. And in the course of using product differentiation, it simply means Samsung has been able to use a unique selling point to differentiate its product from those of its competitors. And being able to build a brand will simply allow Samsung to have customers that are loyal to the brand. So the two methods that can be used by Samsung to build its brands are advertisement, which I'm going to talk about now, advertisement, and probably product differentiation. So we start with advertisement. Advertisement brings about awareness about a product. So because Samsung continuously do a lot of advertisement, it has spent heavily on advertisement. That allows it to create awareness with its customers, and even potential customers are able to know that Samsung has different products, like the Galaxy 90 that was produced with advertisement. A lot of customers are aware about it, existing customers and potential customers, and that allows them to stick with Samsung instead of checking other competitors' products. That is one of the ways to build a brand. Another one is product differentiation. And when we talk about product differentiation, you're trying to create a uniqueness about your product. And if Samsung is able to create uniqueness about its product, so it means its product is different from those of its competitors. And if the product is seen as different from those of its competitors, it means Samsung might be able to charge even a premium price. And with a product differentiation, which makes Samsung to have a different product compared to those of its competitors in a dynamic market like the market for television. This simply means existing customers will stay with Samsung, and potential customers are also probably going to join to start patronizing Samsung. So that's question C. Go to question D. Discuss benefit for a business such as Samsung of using secondary research when developing new products. First, what is secondary research? Secondary research is a desk research. That means a research or data that has been gathered, information that has been gathered by another researcher, which is being used by Samsung. One of the benefits of using secondary research is that it saves time, which simply means Samsung doesn't have to spend so much time gathering information about its competitors, as they are already available. Then it can as well use it to make adjustments about its own product. That's the first one, it saves time. The second one is that using secondary research, which simply can be through internal secondary research, its database. So Samsung can use its database based on previous customers information, previous sales information, previous TV sales information. Samsung can as well use that to make decisions about the new product or about its product. That's another benefit about using secondary research. Another benefit about using secondary research is that secondary research is less expensive compared to primary research. And how is it less expensive? It is less expensive because there are different sources and they are always accessible. So that makes it to be cheaper. The supply of secondary research is always more than the demand for secondary research, and they're always accessible. As a result of that, it is considered to be less expensive, which simply means Samsung can as well be cost effective by being able to use whatever it's been able to keep during research for other strategic aspects of its operation. However, secondary research are sometimes outdated, which simply means Samsung might not be able to use the secondary research for the present day situation. That's a problem about, or a setback, using secondary research. Another problem about secondary research is that it might be biased. The researcher might have done that research that Samsung wants to use based on its own subjectivity. And if it is about subjectivity, there's biasness in it, and which makes the research unreliable. So these are the benefits and the setbacks of using secondary research. So go to question E. Assess the advantages for a business such as Samsung of using price skimming strategy for its new products. When we talk about price skimming simply means setting a higher price when entering the market. So Samsung might set a high price when launching a new product into the market. So what are the benefits of, what are the advantages of using price skimming? One advantage about using price skimming is that setting a high price allows Samsung to be able to recuperate whatever it has spent on research of the new product, the Molino, and before new competitors come into the market. So it allows Samsung to generate more revenue and cover for its expenses on research and development. That's the first advantage about using price skimming. Another advantage about using price skimming is that with price skimming, setting a high price might allow Samsung to be able to increase its profit margin. And being able to increase its profit margin allows Samsung to even be able to spend more, invest more in capital goods to put it in a competitive advantage over its competitors. Another advantage about using price skimming is that with price skimming, based on the fact that Samsung is providing a technical product, when a high price is set on technical products, customers' perception is that the product has a better quality. So setting a high price makes customers to feel that the product worth the price and the quality is high. That might result into customers wanting to buy the product. And as a result of that, Samsung might be able to make more revenue. And it might allow Samsung to even have competitive advantage over its competitors. But the problem about using price skimming is that one, it is short term, because setting a higher price, because based on price skimming strategy, a pricing strategy, price skimming is a pricing strategy. And when we talk about a pricing strategy, it's a strategy on price that allows a business to achieve its marketing objective or pricing objective. So setting a high price is just going to be for a short period of time. And before you know it, based on the fact that a high price in the market attracts more competitors. So it will be for a short period of time before new competitors come in. And if competitors start coming into the market, Samsung might not be able to charge a higher price. That means Samsung will have to share the market with its competitors. So those are the advantages of price skimming and the setback about price skimming. Thank you. So we'll go to question 2, which is section B. Define the term product differentiation. When we talk about product differentiation, it simply means creating a product that is unique compared to those of its competitors. That means producing a product or creating a service that is unique to competitors. And as a result of that, you might be able to have a competitive advantage, because when you are able to create a product, when you are able to, sorry for the break. So when you're able to create a product that is different from those of your competitors, it gives Samsung a competitive advantage over its competitors. So that is product differentiation. Go to question 2B. Construct a diagram, a supply and demand diagram to show the impact of increased advertisements on handmade tools. An advertisement will create awareness about a product, and an increase in advertisement, or probably an advertisement that is successful, will bring about an increase in the quantity demanded of handmade tools. So it can be graphically represented as this. An increase in advertisements will bring about, let's draw a demand and supply. Sorry about this, because I don't have a ruler here, that's why. So let's say we have our price here and our quantity. I believe this one should draw better than this. This is quantity, and this is price. All right, so we have these. So we have our demand and we have our supply. Students should be able to draw better than this anyway. So these are our QE, PE, and ST. So an increase in advertisement will bring about an increase in the quantity demanded from D to D1. And this will increase the quantity to Q1 and the price to P1. So this is the graphical representation of, don't mind my drawing anyway, but I believe you would be able to draw better than this. So we said we should construct a supply and demand diagram to show the impact of increased advertisement. Increased advertisement will increase the quantity demanded of a product from QE to Q1, bringing about the demand curve to shift rightward from D to D1. As a result of that, the price will increase from PE to P1. So that's about question B. Thank you. Go to question C. Analyze 2 advantages of Lemurs providing benefits to its employees. When you provide benefit, there could be benefits are incentives that could motivate employees. So they could be financial and non-financial benefits. So when we talk about financial benefits, these are benefits that are monetarily involved. Example of financial benefits are maybe bonus or commission. So Lemur might give bonuses to its customers, its employees, and giving them bonus means they are getting additional pay aside from their salary, and that could as well motivate them and make them to stay with Lemur. Then for non-financial benefit, it could be training. Lemur might be able to train its employees. By training its employees, that means the employees will feel valued within the organization, and if they feel valued, that could motivate them, increase productivity, and as well increase profitability for Lima. And that might also bring about employee loyalty. So that's C. We go to D. Discuss the importance of function to layman's when considering the design mix for new products. When we talk about design mix are products, are elements of a product design, which involves cost, aesthetic, and function. So we're going to talk about function here. Function simply talks about the use of the product, how functional the product is. So one of the things it has to consider about function is that Lehman produces non-electrical products. So as a result of that, they need to be functional. They are toys, and if they are toys that are for kids, with function, it means whatever Lehman produces must perform its role, must perform its function. Being able to perform its function increases the reputation of Lehman. That's one of the aspects, one of the importance of function. It improves the reputation of a business. Another aspect, another importance of function is that if it functions well, it simply means it will create, it might make customers of Lehman to refer the product to friends and family. And as a result of that, Lehman might be able to increase its customer base. And if it's able to increase its customer base, it might be able to generate more revenue. That's another importance of function. With function, if the product functions well, it simply means customers will enjoy the value for their money. And as a result of that, it might be able to rate Lehman's product ahead of its competitors, which means it might improve the position of Lehman in the market. However, function is not the only reason why, function is not the only element that is important when we are designing a product. Cost is also important because cost is the amount spent in ensuring that the product is made available. So if Lehman is unable to reduce its cost, it might mean that customers will be switching to its competitors. And as a result of that, Lehman might be losing out on customers and losing out on revenue. So that's about function. So go to question E. They said, assess the benefit of operating in a niche market for business such as Lehman. First, what is a niche market? A niche market is a market for a specific group of customers. So being able to, that means Lehman is able to create a specific segment that it's able to sell to in a competitive market. So what are the benefits of selling in a niche market? One of the benefits of selling in a niche market is that it means Lehman will be able to meet specific needs of certain customers. And as a result of that, it might create customer loyalty or brand loyalty. That's the first advantage about selling into a niche market. Another point about selling into a niche market is that selling into a niche market reduces the competition for Lehman, as a lot of because the market is highly competitive, and which simply means the large market or the large businesses in that market will focus on the large segment, the mass market, while Lehman will be able to, focus on its own customer base, which allows it to produce the product that meets their specific needs. That's another advantage about selling into a niche market. Also, selling in a niche market allows Samsung to be able to generate revenue that might allow Samsung to continuously be in the market and as well expand. And how can it expand? It might be able to expand because it's selling in a niche market. It's selling to a specific group of customers. And selling to a specific group of customers might allow Lehman to charge a premium price. And being able to charge a premium price means Lehman might be able to expand its business and be able to compete in that market. That's another advantage about selling in a niche market. However, with a niche market, there might be problems with Lehman because Lehman would not be able to exploit economies of scale. So not being able to exploit economies of scale, such as purchasing economies of scale, because Lehman is operating is selling to a niche market, which simply means a less customer base. As a result of that, its scale of operation is low. So operating at a low scale of operation, operating on a slow scale simply means its average cost is expected to rise. And if its average cost continue to rise, then Samsung will not have any other choice than to sell at a higher price. And selling at a higher price might allow Samsung to lose its customer base. So those are the benefits and the problem about selling in the niche market. Thank you. So we go to question 3. Shangri-La hotels provide both on-the-job and off-the-job training for employees. Evaluate which type of training may be most effective for Shangri-La hotels. So first, we have to define what on-the-job training is and off-the-job training. We call it on-the-job training because this training takes place within the premises of the organization. And what are the benefits of using on-the-job training? One of the benefits of using on-the-job training for Shangri-La hotels are that the staff of Shangri will be productive and they will be actively working and responding to responding to clients complaints or clients whatever clients need. They will be able, some hotels will be able to respond to clients' needs at any point in time because the workers will be trained, the staff will be trained at the workplace, which means production will continue. Services of the hotel will still continue as workers are being trained. And when we talk about on-the-job training, it is carried out by the most experienced existing employee, which simply means the skills and know-how will be passed on to workers, to the newly employed staff members of Shangri-La hotels, which simply means the work is done within the premises, and that is relevant to the work or to the function or to the roles employees have to take part in. Another advantage about using on-the-job training is that with on-the-job training, it is cheaper, it is less expensive compared to off-the-job training. And because it is less expensive compared to off-the-job training, which simply means Shangri-La hotels will be able to keep certain costs, will be able to keep some revenue, which can allow it to use on other strategic area of its hotel. However, using on-the-job training might have some consequences. For example, the existing employees might pass on bad attitude to the trainer. The trainer might pass on bad attitude to the trainees. And if this is done and the trainee continue with the same bad attitude, it might affect Shangri-La hotels' reputation, which means Shangri-La hotels might lose its customers. Then for off-the-job training is carried out by experts, and it is done from outside the organization by specialist training firms. The advantage about using off-the-job training is that one, it allows the trainees to be more focused, which simply means they won't be distracted by operations if they are in the workplace. So that means they'll be focused on their training without any distraction. Now that allows them to be more, to gain or to gather more experience from the experts. Another advantage about using off-the-job training is that it will be done by experts, and if experts who are specialized in off-the-job training of hotel employees, if it's carried out by them, it simply means they will be able to attain better knowledge about how hotels are being operated, or how hotels are to be operated, and that might improve their services, which can also increase or improve their customer service, and which will make customers of La hotels to be happy. That's the second advantage about using off-the-job training. And the third advantage about using off-the-job training is that with off-the-job training, no employees will be put, no employee's life or no customer's life will be put at risk, because those that have been trained would have been trained without putting any customer's life into jeopardy. So that's another advantage about using off-the-job training. However, off-the-job training is very expensive, and because it is expensive, if it is carried out if it is used by Shangri, it might increase its cost of production, which might reduce its profitability. So that's about paper 1, May, June 2020. Watch out for more of these past papers. Thank you. And subscribe and make comments. Thank you.